Have I pronounced your name right?
Hello? Yes. A very good morning to all present here, the audience, teachers, my worthy opponents, and the panel of judges. I am Arni Banerjee, and today I'll be speaking for the motion as has been proposed by the House. So firstly, I would like to specify what is cloud seeding. Well, it is a mechanism by which reagents are added to clouds to fasten crystallization and hence increase the weight of the cloud, causing precipitation. So I hope that this definition has helped the opposition realize that we are not messing with Mother Nature in any way. We are simply fastening a process that was already bound to happen. Following which, I would like to talk about the silver iodide that everyone is now bringing up. Well, as has been already mentioned by the previous speakers, silver iodide is used in very minimal amount. In fact, I have a statistic for this. About 1 gram of silver iodide can cause 10 trillion ice crystals in a cloud, which is far more than required. Even if we take an example of something that we see in our normal life. For example, I hope a lot of you have tasted cinnamon before. Well, cinnamon has 0.1% coumarin, which can cause cancer and liver damage. However, it does not do anything of the sort because we have it only occasionally. This is quite similar to cloud seeding, except AGI is present in an even lesser amount. Now, if we are talking about cost effectiveness, then one thing is true, that it is a quite costly process, cloud seeding. However, we know that just a while back, Kerala had suffered a drought. How much compensation did the government have to pay to the farmers? About 23 lakh to some of the really bad drought hit areas was paid by the government. So it does not mean that we cannot pay for it. If we take the initiative, if the government is taking the initiative, then cloud seeding is very or can be very advantageous. Further, I would like to address the issue that farmers are the only one benefiting from cloud seeding. However, I strongly disagree. It is true that a large part of our population is from the primary sector. Their jobs lie in farming or fisheries, which is affected by weather conditions. But drought does not only affect them. Drought increases the cost of food and water in the market, making it very difficult for the lesser fortunate to get something to eat or drink. So this cloud seeding is a boon for all of us and not only the farmers. It will be very beneficial to the economy if we can actually invest in it and look forward to what the future holds. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun. You already asked a question. Yes, you already asked a question. What's happening? Who's not asked a question yet? I'll start announcing names of those who've been sleeping on the debate. Right? Okay. I've denied you many times. You can ask the question.
Most of the members of the proposition, even you have said that cloud seeding is an effective way to combat rain deficiency during drought periods. But as I also mentioned in my speech, cloud seeding is highly dependent upon the existing weather conditions which already exist in the environment. And I don't think you can always promise them during drought periods, can you?
Well, that is a very nice question. Thank you for your question. If it's about promise, yes, it is true that we cannot rely on everything, rely on technology to work every time. But it does not mean that we shouldn't try. Even in drought periods, there is humidity that is present even at higher atmospheres. Even a bit of precipitation right now, the National Meteorological Department states that cloud seeding, as it has developed, can cause about 20% precipitation. Now, this amount of precipitation too can help fasten the process of rain. It is a try that we must take, a leap of faith to make sure that if it is possible, we can actually go ahead and get rain for the people. We should not just wait around for the rain to come by itself, should we? Thank you so much.
Nehu, where are you? It's your turn now to give us your spin on whether cloud seeding is the best option to resolve rainfall deficit. Once again, may I remind all speakers, the word is not drought but rainfall deficit. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all present here, the teachers, the student, my fellow worthy opponents, and the respected panel of judges. I am Mehul Gandhi of Lakshipat Singhania Academy, standing in front of you against the proposition put forward by the House. As referred earlier, cloud seeding is a biomagnification technique. In layman's term, cloud seeding is nothing but a new age technology in which chemicals are added to clouds to make rain. Rain. Rain is one of the last few phenomena which was not hampered by us humans. But now, with cloud seeding, we are tampering with rain as well. Furthermore, chemicals are added to this. Chemicals are never meant to be good. Chemicals will always take a bad side. Why, you will ask? Because these chemicals, when mixed with rain, will fall back on us humans, as rain. So, is it the right option? I don't know. Let's see. Also, when this rain mixed with ocean will contaminate the ocean water, what about those fishes? Those fishes will get toxins in them. And as mentioned earlier, I don't know why the opposition hasn't taken consideration about biomagnification. We are on the top of the food chain, and those toxins will be at the highest concentration in us. We will get affected by this. Also, let's see if the scientists have given about the permanent solution or not. It is good for a temporary basis, but what about the permanency of the solution? We need to eradicate rainfall deficit in a permanent way. The AgNO3 that is used in cloud seeding also affect the ozone layer and helps in the ozone layer depletion. That is again a problem for us. To conclude my speech, I would like to say that maybe cloud seeding is a good option, but not the best option for us at all. We should focus on newer option. We should focus for new technology, but we should make sure that it does not affect us in any other ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehul. It is an option, but not the best option. You've been sleeping. You have a question? Good.
So my question is, you said it's a good option, not the best option. What according to you is the best option and a permanent solution, as you say, to fix the drought and every face?
Good afternoon and thank you for the question. Great question. Let me ask, did 400 years ago, did we have rainfall deficit? No. Why do we have now? What has changed? If something has changed, it is us. We humans have changed. And we have created these problems. So I think instead of this, we should get ready with our basics first. We should remove the pollution, the global warming, and all of these will be fixed. Cloud seeding is not an option. What we are doing is creating a paradox. The solution for the problems that we have created is being created again by us. This is nothing but a paradox. I hope this answers your question. Thank you.
At the end, if we have the time, because the other speakers may get disturbed. Okay. So, Ishan Roy, you're up next. Ishan represents Navanalanda School, and we need to encourage our speakers with acclamation. I don't know what. So, your target, Ishan, is to deliver a speech so that the clapping exceeds the welcome clapping. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ishan Roy from Navananda High School, and I'll be speaking in favor of the motion of today's debate. Cloud seeding is the best option to resolve rainfall deficit in our country. So straight away, the biggest question is cloud seeding the best? If not, are there any other measures that prove to be better than cloud seeding? So before we begin, I'd like you all to put on your caps of imagination for a second and forget that cloud seeding exists. Now, we live in a country where rainfall deficit is one of the, if not the biggest issues to the nation. And I present to you a technology that allows you to harness weather in your own benefits. Having heard this, is there anyone who refuses to use this for themselves? And oh, did I forget to mention that it is completely cost-effective, efficient, and environment-friendly? I hope not that no one will use it. In a country where normal monsoon isn't normal anymore, states like Punjab get around 550 millimeters of rainfall, whereas they need 1500 millimeters of rainfall to properly produce rice and wheat. This deficit is somewhat countered by initiatives undertaken by the government regarding groundwater and irrigation. Even this is unsustainable as stated by J.S. Samra of National Rainfed Area Authority. So cloud seeding can bring rain to drought-prone areas, it can improve agriculture and increase groundwater level. But the advantages are far bigger than one might actually think. With the help of cloud seeding, larger yield of crops can be generated, which will equal to larger revenue, which allows the farmers to support their family and educate their children out of poverty. Moreover, India being an agrarian economy, improvement of agriculture will increase the nation's GDP as well. If you think about it in the long run, there is a high chance of rivers drying out due to global warming. This can be prevented by cloud seeding. In fact, China has already launched multiple cloud seeding programs to recover the Yangtze River. And how are the downsides of cloud seeding tackled? Well, it has become much more affordable for the common people in the recent years. According to an interview in Times Express, Professor Manindash Agarwal of IIT Kanpur, who is the leading man of the Delhi project of cloud seeding, stated that the cost of cloud seeding 1 square kilometer land to be roughly 1 lakh rupees. If you do the calculation, a normal farmer owns around 5 to 10 bighas, and it is actually a reasonable price considering 1 bigha to be rupees 250. And coming back to the debate whether it is truly the best, our next best contenders are large-scale river valley projects. Compared to these, cloud seeding is much more affordable and efficient. So, and with the next point I have is that with the advancement of technology, we can use dynamic mode of cloud seeding, the most ambitious project regarding this topic, which not only allows you to precede the advancement of rain, but it can actually allow you to increase precipitation in itself, which will be very much useful in the coming years. With all this being said, there is simply no debate, and cloud seeding proves itself to be the best among all the other options we have. Thus, I conclude that cloud seeding is indeed the best option to resolve rainfall deficit in our country. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ishan. You haven't asked a question yet. Please pass him the mic.
Thank you for your speech. You mentioned in your speech that we can get larger yields of crops. That implies that we get more rainfall, is that right?
Yes.
Where are you going to get the water vapor? Are you going to produce it out of thin air? Because cloud seeding basically condenses the water that's already in the atmosphere, which is going to rain at some point, which is the monsoon. So you're basically saying we get the rain before, and then what happens after? Like where do you get that extra rain from that gets you your extra yield of crop?
Well, in this context, I would mention two things. First of all, let me get into some geography. We don't usually do cloud seeding in areas which are in the northeastern part of India, because in the northwestern part, states like Punjab, they experience much higher temperature. And what does high temperature produce? Evaporation. And what does evaporation do? Lots and lots of water vapor. And secondly, if you ask that what happens after we use cloud seeding, we would need much more water vapor to again produce rainfall. In this context, I mentioned something called dynamic mode of cloud seeding. This is exactly a complex method of cloud seeding which allows you to not just apply nuclei to produce rainfall, but you can increase the capacity of precipitation in itself by inducing vertical air currents. If you research about it more, it actually allows you to increase precipitation without any external water vapor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very comprehensive answer, possibly the longest answer we got this morning. And to prove him completely wrong is none other than Akash Neel Mitra.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Akashnil Mitra from Navanananda High School. Today's motion is that cloud seeding is the best option to resolve rainfall deficit in our country. I will speak against the motion. Today's debate is not just a debate, it is a call to action. Rainwater deficiency in India, whose entire agriculture is dependent on rain, is a very critical issue, and viable solutions are required immediately. However, this cloud seeding technique is not the answer that we are looking for, and let me present a few reasons why. Firstly, the effectiveness of cloud seeding is highly questionable. Studies have shown mixed results, and questions are being asked about its reliability. According to the 2017 report by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, cloud seeding experiments yielded no significant results. The entire project cost was 50 crores of rupees, only to increase rainfall by 18% in a small region of Sonapur. Just imagine the cost to run such an operation countrywide. Also in that project, they clearly mentioned that to tackle drought, cloud seeding alone will not be enough. So, question arises, should the tax taken from the hardworking citizens of our country be invested in such miracles that are not guaranteed? Absolutely not. We must demand better. Secondly, there are already better alternatives present that has been tried and tested and proven successful. Now, see in Tamil Nadu since 2001, efficient rainwater harvesting has been going on and the state hasn't been water deficient ever since. In Punjab, with its rivers like BS, Ravi, Sutlej and also Indus, it practices extensive canal irrigation. So why should we invest so much money in cloud seeding when we can invest a relatively low amount of money in such ground level solutions like drip water irrigation also and canal irrigation? I will leave this question for my opponents to answer. Thirdly, cloud seeding is not a long-term fix. It is a short-term fix. It can induce rainfall over a short region for a small period of time, but it can in no way address the in general rainfall deficiency of India. Keeping all this in mind, in conclusion, I would like to say that addressing rainfall deficiency in India requires sustainable solutions like efficient rainwater harvesting, canal irrigation, and also, yes, desalination plants in coastal areas. Also, the river linking project, which was once propagated by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, it will materialize now soon and will complete soon, and it will be very good for all the farmers. Now, to tackle drought, we must identify the root cause, that is global warming. We must prevent your drought from happening in the future years by reducing the amount of carbon emissions and increasing afforestation. Why should we let our rivers dry up? And finally, coming back to point, cloud seeding is a false promise. It cannot increase the amount of rainfall. It just takes the moisture from the surrounding areas and forms rain at a place. It makes tomorrow's rain happen today. And most importantly, it is a fancy and expensive piece of technology that has no place in India. With this, I would like to implore you all, please do not invest in such impractical methods. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, you haven't asked a question yet? Yes, you will ask. You face a question from Gokil Memorial School.
You talked about rainwater harvesting being an alternative solution of cloud seeding, right? But what to harvest, my friend, if you don't have water in the first place?
Well, why should not we have water in the first place? See, everybody is missing the point. India is not rainfall deficient. Yes, in some places rainfall happens less, but in some places rainfall happens more. In this year, if we consider the cumulative report, the India was rainfall deficit by only 1%. That is plus minus 1% occurs in every year. In some years it is greater, in some years it is smaller. And if rain does not happen in the first place, then how come cloud seeding will even work? My friends have already mentioned that in drought-like conditions, there is not even any cloud cover to even form clouds. That is all I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Very spirited speech, and thank you for throwing in so many new thoughts.